Hello, my sweet little Yankee Doodle dandies. How are you tonight? As you can see, Indiana and I are just fine. He wanted to come in with Mama and lay on her paint buckets. Well, doing this video. If I'm not using resin, I'll let him come in. He's an old man and he's sick. So, how do you say no? As he's laying next to a big red splatter of paint on the floor. That's dry though, don't worry. Alrighty, guys. As promised, here is the Yankee pour. I'm still trying to decide if I want to call it that. Here's what I know. I'm a Yankee. I live in the northeast of the United States. I love Yankees baseball, and this pour, although it's similar to a Dutch pour, almost looks like a New York skyline if I don't pull the color down below. And I'm going to show you what I mean in this video. So the first thing I need to do is show you how to mix your paints for this. So the base can be any type of white paint as long as you only use paint and water. So you can use house paint, you can use Artist Loft white flow acrylics, you can use Blick white. I'm using house paint, Walmart brand semi-gloss white paint because I have that. And because it's cheaper to buy that by the gallons than it is to buy actual art paints. So what I do, first step is, as you can see, I'm using primary elements in this because they are gorgeous and I can't wait to show you the colors. What I do first is I take a cup, and I'm using a measured cup today so you know exactly how much water I am adding to this house paint. So this cup here, I am going to put in 7 ounces of white house paint, and I'm going to show you the consistency of this because it's really thick, and that's one of the keys to having these cells stay together. Consistency is everything. So right now it's really, really thick, but I want it to be a little bit thinner. So this is a 10 by 10 canvas. And actually I'm going to put in, I think 6 ounces should be enough. So there's 6 ounces of straight paint in there. Now I'm going to close off my little cup. I pour my gallon of paint into smaller containers so it's easier to control. And then what I usually do is take a used rubber glove. I don't have a used dirty one right now, so I'm just going to use a clean one. And that's how I store them. And it keeps it fresh. So 6 ounces of paint. Let's see how much water we are going to add into this. Now, I have a little bit of water going in, and I'm going to bring it to 6.5. So a half an ounce of water I just added to 6 ounces of paint. Let's see if that is enough. Now, this is a full mixing tutorial, so if you don't want to see mixing, just please fast forward. You want to mix it in good. Oh, and by the way, this technique that I'm doing, I'm using different products than I usually do in my videos, so you should probably watch the whole thing if you want to do this the right way. Not skip through and then ask me what caused the cells in the end, because you're going to find out what causes the cells. So that is pretty spot on to what I want. So it's pretty thick still, but it's got nice flow off of the stick. Okay? So that's it for the base. That's it. Now we need to mix our colors. For the colors, I am using Vivid Acrylic Gloss Enamel. And I'm using Polycrylic water-based clear gloss. You can get this at Home Depot, Amazon. I'll put it in my shop for anybody that doesn't have a Home Depot. If you go to Lowe's, they sell something called Varathane Triple Thick, 3 times. I'll also link that in the Amazon box so you can see what it looks like. But that's the brand that they sell at Home Depot, and it works identical to this. So for my colors, now this works for tube paint. It works for fluid paints. And it works for the primary elements. I'm mixing them all the same, except for one tiny thing with the tube paints. If you are to use a tube paint, you might have to add a little water to thin it out, okay? Because it may be too thick. I've been trying to stick to just fluid colors, like the Golden brand, or even like a Deco Art would be considered a fluid brand because it's more runnier than the Liquitex in the tube. So all I do is I put a little bit. You don't need a lot of color for this technique, only one stripe across the canvas. So however much paint I want to make is how much of this enamel I add into the cup. Okay, I then take a little pipette and I add in a total of 2 milliliters of polycrylic. So I would say that's maybe like, I don't know, you can do a converter online, but I would say it's close to a half a teaspoon maybe. It's not much. So let me put this in slowly. Yeah, I would say a half a teaspoon of the polycrylic. I put in a little bit of my color, whichever one I'm going to be making. Let's do the Midori Melon. This is one of the new colors. Before I do that, though, let's stir this around a couple of times. And I'm going to show you the consistency of this, too. It's a little bit thicker than what you're normally used to. So there's the Midori Melon going in. And let me get right in the camera for you. It is a beautiful, bright watermelon green color. Okay, now you see how thick that is? It's pretty thick. So if you want, there's 2 things you can do. You can add just a couple of drops of water. In the end, you want to mix all your paints up and then add your water to them to get them all to the same consistency. Look at all of your colors. If you mix up 5 colors, do not add water until the end. Mix all 5 up. Find your thinnest color and then make all the other ones that consistency. And if all 5 are too thick, then just make them all the consistency. But this right here is thicker than if I were to mix up, for example, some of this because it's a very liquidy, runny paint. So it's naturally going to thin out that medium. So mix your colors first and then add the water at the end if you need it. So that's how you mix the colors. Now, here is the key. So we're going to put our white house paint down or acrylic paint, whatever you're going to use. We're going to put these colors down and then we're going to make a separate white with a little bit of Floetrol in it. And that is going to help those beautiful cells come into play. That's because your other paints have no Floetrol in them and only the white has the Floetrol. When you blow those paints over that white or that white over the colors, it's going to help promote cells. That along with the polyacrylic that is gloss based. Also, my house paint has a little gloss in it. So it all comes into play. So what I'm going to do is, this is some Floetrol that I put into a cup. I strained it because you should always strain your Floetrol. There's always lumps. Put some white in there. See that lump that I missed? So let's fish it out. You see that big thing? They're just horrible. Absolutely horrible. That will ruin your painting. So I have a little bit of Floetrol in the cup. We don't need much because we just need a little bit of white. So this is a 2-ounce Dixie cup. It's filled a quarter of the way right now. Now you can take any brand acrylic paint, white acrylic paint, not the house paint, it has to be acrylic. And here we go. I'm going to show you how much to add. This is a tongue depressor. I like the way the thicker bodied paints work for this. So that's probably a little bit too much. I'd say a level teaspoon worth of paint into the little cup of Floetrol. Mix it around really good. Scrape your stick off so you can get all that paint off. Make sure there's no lumps or bumps in there. I'm trying to do this as straightforward and as simple as possible. It's very easy. Okay? And there's the consistency of that. It's about the same as all the others. And my friends, we are ready to go. So I'm going to get my canvas out and put the feet on it, and we're going to get right into it. Before I do that, I want to bring attention to my beautiful Lole Vefe mat. I have to give Canela Sirocco a shout out because she gave me a tip for cleaning the little tiny drips off of the mat in a very easy way. Now, I was using duct tape earlier, but I'm not sure if this tape will work, but you need a strong type of a tape. And listen, I'll waste the tape if it helps me get those little tiny ones off, because you can use the scraper, but I love this mat and I want to try to keep it as clean as possible. So this little tip right here really saves me a lot of time And I was able to clean this in like 5 minutes. It was awesome. So if you don't know about these mats, I have a description in the box below. I have $5 off the Jumbo and Mega Mat coupon. Go check them out. They're absolutely phenomenal to create skins on for jewelry, resin. I love them for resin because the next morning when everything's cured, it just peels right up. So, okay. Now we're going to do the video. I'm sorry. I wanted to tell you guys about that little tape trick. Okay, so I showed you the Midori Melon color. I just want to show you the other two colors that I'm using from the Primary Elements line. This is the Daffodil. It's a really, really pretty color. And this one is Azurite. You can see the side of the cup. Oh, it's just gorgeous. These are all shimmery luster colors. Okay? And then I have green, Liquitex green, and that is, oh boy, that fluid blue color, Anthraquinone. Anthraquinone blue. There you go. I'm trying so hard not to laugh tonight because I've been sick. And I'm going to have a coughing fit if I laugh. So I'm trying to hold it together. So the first thing we need to do is cover our canvas in white. Let me move these out of the way before there's a tragedy. This is really a simple technique. So we put our white on. And we're going to spread it around. I like to get as much of the front covered before I start going over the edge. This is a level 3 canvas I'm working on. Okay, and then you want to go around and do your sides right now because you don't want to touch them afterwards. So get them nice and smooth and covered totally. I'm going to remove my gloves. Won't be needing those anymore. And then I'm going to torch it really quick. Right? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour lines of color on top of each other about 2/3 of the way up from the bottom of the canvas. So let's see. We'll put down some of the Midori Melon first. Then I'm going to use the green Liquitex, which I believe is bright green. I start off of the canvas a little bit, get a nice stream going, and then I go across. This way I don't have a big plop on the canvas. Next, I'm going to do that daffodil color. Then the azurite. Gorgeous, gorgeous color. Another good thing the mat is good for. Leave your sticks lined up on it, and then they'll dry, and you can peel them right off and reuse them. There's the azurite. And then the last color will be my arch nemesis, mortal enemy of names, a blue. I'm not even trying, people. I don't know who dreamt up these names. I think somebody told me once Golden uses Spanish names for their colors. I'm not sure, though. It's like, I just can't pronounce them. That's all I know. We need to be simple and use common sense when naming these things. Bluebird blue. All right, so here's my white that has just the Floetrol in it. Nothing else has Floetrol. No silicone. Nothing. So I'm going to pour a line of it right here so that I can blow it over my colors. And I'm going to put a line of it above my colors so my colors blow over it. So it's getting it in both directions. I'm going to torch again really quick. And now here's the key. Once you blow upwards one time with the blow dryer, you're done. It's not like the Dutch pour where we blow it over and then up again. We're just going up in one direction. On high. This is my $15 blow dryer from Walmart. Here we go. That's it. Now we sit and we wait for a minute. We wait for things to develop. Now, here's the thing. You can, if you want, take a air gun, a straw, even the blow dryer again, and try to blow these down a little bit. But you take the chance of messing up your sellage that you have going on right now and muddying up your colors if you move them too quick. I'm going to try it because I'm a glutton for punishment, but I'm only going to try to blow out this area to kind of even it out, to make it look like a skyline almost. For you guys, an upside down skyline. So actually what I'll do is I will turn it around so you see what I'm doing. Okay, and I just have to get a toothpick here. Okay. So here we go. Just this area right here. You don't want to do too much. Okay, and I am going to leave it just like that because I think it's beautiful. So let me give you a close-up. Look at those edges. I just absolutely love this. And like I said in yesterday's video, I did blow it out on the bottom, but today I just want to leave it the way it is and have it look like it is a skyline almost. So you can now see how it's kind of like a Dutch pour, but it's not. So that's why I was talking to a friend last night, Miss Judy, and she came up with the name Yankee pour. So I think I'm going to stick with it. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them below. Be sure to check out all of the description for the links to products. I'll link the polyacrylic and the Rust-Oleum triple thick or Varathane triple thick. And the Vivid Enamel, you can get that 25% off with my coupon along with the primary elements. And speaking of, that color that I just used along with the others from the Firefly starter set are only available until this Friday and then until the end of the weekend, I believe. And then another set comes out now for November. So it was a limited edition set. And the colors in that one were just magical. The Firefly. I can't wait to see this next one. So if you were interested in that with my coupon, it takes off, 25%. It's a good discount in the end. So check that out. Make sure to subscribe, like, share my videos. That is the best way to help. And check out my Facebook group, United We Pour with Tammy and Lisa, my group that I run with my girlfriend, Lisa Wyatt Art, who also has a channel. I love you all, and I will see you again tomorrow with some resin fun. Until then, my friends, happy pouring.